In the land of deserts and destiny, beneath the Arabian night sky, a storm was brewing, not one of nature, but of legacy, pride, and championship ambition. Riyadh played host to a moment unlike any other in WWE history. It wasn't just a SmackDown. It was a call to arms. It was the go-home episode before Night of Champions. And it delivered spectacle, emotion, confrontation, and carnage in equal measure. The lights in the Kingdom Arena flared like a prophecy fulfilled. For the first time ever, SmackDown unfolded not on American soil, but in the heart of Saudi Arabia, a statement in and of itself. WWE didn't bring just a show to Riyadh. They brought war drums. They brought gold. They brought the ghosts of rivalries past and the promise of pain to come. It began with the voice of Michael Cole, steady and familiar, guiding the viewers into this historic night. His voice faded, and from the back strode Cody Rhodes, sharp in a suit, eyes fixed on the crown. The King of the Ring title stood tall in the ring, the glimmer of the crown a silent invitation to greatness. But before Cody could utter a word of ambition, the arena lit up with the venomous hiss of Randy Orton's entrance. The Viper slithered his way into the moment, interrupting not with hostility, but acknowledgement. This wasn't about animosity, it was about mutual respect. About roads that diverged and now collided once again. Their history isn't a secret. From legacy to ladder matches, from betrayals to alliances, Orton and Rhodes have walked this path before. They didn't need to shout to be heard. Their history spoke louder than any mic could. But as they exchanged words, commendation for victory, recognition of perseverance, the production faltered. Footage turned grainy. Angles skewed. It became clear that technical difficulties plagued the segment. Some clips looked like they'd been caught on a fan's phone. But if anything, it made the moment rawer, more real. Even with glitches, the message was clear: Cody versus Orton would not be built on bitterness. It would be built on legacy. And then, the matches began. First, the Women's United States Championship. Zelina Vega stepped onto Saudi soil with pride in her step and fire in her eyes. Across from her, Giulia, an international juggernaut, a warrior honed in the crucibles of Japanese strong style. This was more than a defense. This was a showcase of global strength. Vega used her speed and spirit. Giulia countered with brutal elegance. The match was a festival of counters, submissions, aerial attacks, and near falls. But in the end, the reigning champion stood tall. Giulia retained. But make no mistake, Zelina Vega made a statement. One of pride, one of heart, one of resilience. Then came the darkness. The Street Profits, smoke, charisma, and kinetic energy. Champions of the people. But the ring turned cold when the Wyatt Sicks entered. No words, no lights, only shadow. The legacy of Bray Wyatt hung in the air like a prayer, or a warning. This wasn't just about the titles. It was a test of sanity. The Prophets fought through fog and fear, through mind games and brutality. Each tag, each move, was a defiance of the darkness. And in the end, they did the impossible. They retained. But they didn't celebrate. Their faces told the story: the Wyatt Sicks are not finished. This was only the beginning. And then came war. Tiffany Stratton. Nia Jax. Women's Championship. Last woman standing. The very name of the stipulation promised brutality. And it delivered. Chairs clashed. Tables shattered. Flesh met steel. It was a ballet of violence, a theater of endurance. Tiffany's agility and ruthless creativity met Nia's overwhelming power. And when it seemed like Stratton had nothing left, she summoned something ancient, something primal. She buried Nia under an avalanche of debris. The referee counted 10. Tiffany Stratton still stood. But no one walks away from a match like that unchanged. And finally, silence fell. Two icons stepped into the spotlight: John Cena and CM Punk. Their final confrontation before Night of Champions. It wasn't loud. It wasn't physical. But it was thunderous all the same. Cena stood in defiance, the embodiment of legacy. Punk stood in rebellion, the symbol of resistance. Their words were weapons, honed over years of disdain and conflict. Cena called Punk a quitter. Punk reminded Cena that revolution doesn't ask for permission. They didn't touch. They didn't brawl. But the air between them was charged like a fuse waiting for flame. No punches were thrown, but the match had already begun. And so, as the show faded to black, the echo of the evening lingered. SmackDown had brought everything. Gold was defended. Legends stood tall. Shadows emerged. Promises were made. And the future was forged in the fires of confrontation. Riyadh wasn't a location tonight. It was a battleground. And as Night of Champions approaches, the message is clear. No one is safe. Everyone is watching. And the war has only just begun.